Hi guys, and welcome to the Canadian wilderness. Now, in case you hadn't noticed, it snows here in Canada, and if you're going to live, work and play here, you'll need to be able to drive on that snow.
If you're coming from somewhere which rarely or never gets snow, then it can be a bit of a shock to the system. And today we're going to give you 5 top tips to help you drive in this beautiful but sometimes inconvenient winter wonderland.
Okay, firstly, proper equipment is going to help you here. A 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle makes life much easier, but if you don't have one and you do buy a 2-wheel drive vehicle, then at least make sure you buy a car with front-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive vehicles do not cope well with snow, so ideally get an all-wheel or 4-wheel drive, and failing that, make sure you get front-wheel drive. As for tyres, proper winter tyres like these are the way to go. Depending on where you are in Canada and on which highway, the rules differ about which tyres you must legally have, but our advice is this: get real winter tyres and put them on before the snow arrives. You can get all-season tyres which perform okay in both summer and winter, but by far the best option is to get summer tyres for summer and winter tyres for winter. It means buying 8 tyres instead of 4 and getting them swapped over twice a year, but it's still cheaper and less stressful than having an accident. 2 sets of tyres and the hassle of changing them over is sadly just part of living and driving in a snowy country like Canada. Some people actually get studded tyres, but they're not great on tarmac, so you only really need them in places where you're only going to drive on snow in winter. In most Canadian towns you'll be on snow sometimes and tarmac sometimes, so studded tyres are probably overkill.
Tip number 2 is to plan ahead. If you are driving a suitable vehicle with good tyres, you should only need to put snow chains on very occasionally, if at all. We lived in the European Alps for nearly 15 years and I can count on the fingers of one hand how many times I had to put snow chains on. The key to not needing chains or getting stuck is to plan ahead. Don't stop on a steep hill because it can be really hard to start again. Try to park in places where gravity will at least help you out or won't hinder you. Keep some momentum going into corners when going uphill and take very little momentum when going downhill. You don't want to be out of control when going uphill, but maintaining speed, if it's safe to do so, is usually better than going really slowly and potentially having to stop. On the way down, the opposite is true. You'll rarely get into trouble by driving too slowly by going downhill, but if you're carrying too much speed, things can go wrong very quickly when you're going downhill. If you're away from public roads and on a track like this, it's a good idea to scope out what's coming next. 30 seconds walking ahead to check out an unseen part of the track sure beats getting stuck in a hazard that you weren't expecting.
Tip number 3 is that when you're on the highways, it's preferable to stay behind someone instead of overtaking. You'll know if there are any hazards because the car in front will brake, and the overtaking lane usually takes much longer to be clear of snow after a snowfall, so whilst the inside lane might be nice and clear, you can often pull into the overtaking lane and feel like you're suddenly on ice. The best way to do things is to leave plenty of space between you and the car in front, then cruise along in safety, even if it is a bit slower than you'd like.
Our 4th tip is to tread lightly. What we mean by that is giving the gentlest steering and pedal inputs you can. I once heard it described as driving a bit like you've got an egg under each foot and one in each hand. When you press the brake or the accelerator, do it gently. If you stamp on the accelerator, you can get wheel spin, which in turn can cause all sorts of problems if you're trying to start on a hill or get out of deep snow. And if you stamp on the brake and then the wheels lock, then you'll start sliding. By the way, if that does happen, lift off the brake and then try braking again more gently. It's much more effective than just leaving your foot planted on locked brakes. Turn gently and gradually and apply pressure to the pedals in the same way. Jerking the steering or stamping on the pedals doesn't work well on a low grip surface like snow.
Our 5th tip is a technical one, but it's still an important point. Try and accelerate and brake in a straight line. You don't want to be changing speed and direction at the same time, so get your braking done before a corner, go round it and then gently accelerate again. Whether it's driving a Formula 1 car or just trying to get to work on a snowy Canadian day, trying to slow a vehicle down while it's turning is not a good idea. The centre of gravity shifts forward, momentum exceeds friction, and you end up going straight on when you'd have preferred to have turned. Approach a corner, slow down, go round the corner, then accelerate again. Okay, they're our top 5 tips for driving on snow. If you've got any more, leave them in the comments below, and enjoy winter in the meantime.